I believe in myself.
You're whistling against that mic. Let's actually try and have a podcast where it's decent audio.
My head on there today is such a yapla. Why's all this yappiness coming out?
Yeah.
So we just do.
Can we
do a
just
shot at the
do a
start?
podcast where there's
Well,
decent audio?
I want a podcast where you don't hear like a flipping wind tunnel.
I want to do a podcast where you're not fucking shouting down the mic, and me and Tommy's like, "Oh my god, here what's
Yeah,
crack,
well, that's
here,
what I'm
what's
trying
that?"
to
See now you're editing the podcast. You're starting
Yeah.
to put a bit of effort into it. So you're like, oh, I want it to sound better, so I don't have to do things.
You actually care about it now. Before it was just like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Shell fix it."
Throw
Like.
that in there, will you?
Shay, will you do this? Will you do
Auto
that?
tune our voices to sound nice.
Halfway through this, I'm like, "Here, Ross, can you throw that in, like that wee thing there?"
If I film this tomorrow, will you just cut it and put it in?
It's not easy, like.
Do
It's
you
so
wanna-
easy.
Thought that'll sound good in the audio.
Hello, welcome back to another podcast. I believe this is episode 35, so we're now into them big digits, getting closer to the 50. When are we a year of doing this?
July, I think.
July, right? Never mind then. Wee
I
while
thought
off
it was
it.
later than that.
Wee while off it anyway.
Mm.
Yeah, welcome back. I had a wee bit of a break there for a wee while. I think we're still posting podcasts, but
Yeah.
it's a wee bit of a break because uni.
I'm gonna move this mic. So okay.
Yeah, that's
It's a
grand.
bit close.
I'll just put that out in the edit. Yeah, uni. You finish tomorrow.
Yeah.
I finished.
Can't I wait?
Oh my word, it's divine. It is actually divine. I was saying this to you earlier on. I caught myself yesterday going a walk.
You caught yourself?
I caught myself.
I was like, this is gonna take a
This
dark,
is a deep, dark
turn.
podcast. Yeah, I caught myself going a walk just the other day just because I had the time. I was like,
Imagine, you're so blessed.
get out, explore. So yeah, we'll just jump straight into it. Tommy's question time. Roll that intro. Shay.
No.
Ross.
You do it.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the greatest show on earth.
It's Tommy's question time. Yeah, go.
So, obviously, the pubs and all have been opened. Everyone's drinking again.
Yes.
I want to know.
I love how soft
do you
you're
put
being
your-
whenever you talk into the mic.
When do you
It's
put
making me
your phone
uncomfortable.
away? You're so
I'm,
rude.
I'm bringing up the things that we should be talking about.
Oh, maybe just shove your phone up your ass.
Right, okay, just ask your question. Stop being a wee
I was
brat.
trying to lead into it, and you're just taking out your phone, and they're like, "Oh yeah."
Right, go.
So obviously the pubs and all's open again. Everyone's back out drinking. What I want to know is like, what's your go-to hangover meal?
Oh.
It's
So
so
you're going to
obvious.
say go-to drink?
No.
Obvious hangover drink has to be Lucozade. Anyone who says any different is they've never drank before. Lucozade solves everything.
It does make you
And
bad
we
anyway.
ice lolly. I've only found this one out
Oh,
recently.
yes.
Like, oh my god, ice lollies are
Ice
Your dad brought them home the other day, and I was like, "Get me a pear picking porky down my gullet." And oh my word,
I can't believe it was. I think I only found this out like a year ago about ice lollies. It took that long to figure out that ice lollies cure everything,
they just hit the spot.
and it's so obvious.
Yum.
It
Yeah.
makes sense.
So icy and juicy.
But food wise,
Food wise.
Wow.
see, it's tough because you've two meals whenever you're down. You've the first one you have, maybe like a fry or something, but then it's the one that they have that evening that decides whether you're going to be alright the next day or not.
Yeah.
But in the morning, I suppose it's hard to be at a fry. But if you're up in Belfast, I go for a wee boojum.
Boojum.
Boojum at what time?
It clears it up, like something with a lot of bread in it. Fry with lots of, what do you call it, soda bread.
Yeah.
That's good, look.
Pancakes.
What about McDonald's?
Hit and miss. I must admit, Subway's mine.
Subway. What
Oh,
a That is
dang.
awful. That is awful.
Subway for me. Like, I get like a big dirty like Southwest sauce and all, and it just.
That
Love it.
sounds wrong.
Can't get Southwest
Subway
sauce on
is such a basic
Okay.
shout. Man. Get a McDonald's Big Mac meal, nuggets.
Yeah, well, sometimes get a Big Mac meal.
Coke.
Yeah. What about you? McDonald's.
McDonald's are. What did I get yesterday? I was hanging yesterday morning and ordered, like the Maggie Mays chicken. Well, time we got it's like comes in like a big fucking tub. It's like chips, chicken, bacon, cheese,
Yeah.
and sweet chili sauce on it. It was Unreal.
That time we were watching the Jake Paul fight, we had the
Maggie Mays.
Milky Way milkshakes,
Mm.
Maggie Mays, and they really did hit the spot. To be fair, I must admit.
But you always feel sick after your first meal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after that yesterday, I was like, fuck, I don't feel well.
Do you know what I think's a good first meal? KFC. Oh, it's unreal. So greasy. Hits
It
the
is
spot.
greasy. Like. You know what I hate about KFC? Like, I love getting coleslaw, and I never have it. Never have it. Like.
But the gravy sort of.
I don't know.
Mm.
I'd rather the coleslaw. Dip the chicken into the coleslaw. And all.
But yeah, on that, what's your evening feed? I think you're going to agree with me whenever I say mine's an Indian.
Kebab. Like.
That
Kebab or a Chinese, maybe. The kebabs
Yeah.
in Katie are like the best kebabs in the world. Like.
Yeah, I seen a thing the other day. It was the best kebabs in Northern Ireland was like top 100, and the one in Katie wasn't on it. Obviously, like, because like no one knows it's
That's
there. But
The best I've ever had. Like.
the Sphinx and all was on it. And
Sphinx isn't this. It's not as good.
Sphinx was like number 10. It was the only other one that I knew on it, and it was like number 10. And I was like, if that's number 10, like,
What's number one?
the one in I don't know. I can't remember. It was other ones that, like, from different counties that I've never seen before. Like. Not counties that I haven't seen, but like Indians that I
I
haven't
should
seen.
do a series and get drunk, and the next day I try every kebab place in Northern Ireland. Like, do a weekly.
Could you imagine
series.
driving around all in Northern Ireland the next day, dying? Like?
Dan,
That,
do it for the
I
views.
jump out the window. Like.
that time we like last Saturday. Was it last Saturday we were up at yours?
Yeah.
Because see, Shay has a new occupation.
So do you.
So do I.
New jobs.
It's a time
New job,
of
boys.
It's a time of.
It's a time of
new beginnings
celebration.
and
Things are going well.
We are getting bigger. I think that's cool though. The fact that like you kind of like this is it. Like it's like now you finish uni, it's time to get a job and start, doing stuff.
adulting.
doing stuff.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're making absolute storms on your end of things, going for it
Hopefully.
solo, which I have mad respect for.
See how long that lasts.
Me and Lucinda were actually talking about this yesterday while we were out a walk. I went to run yesterday.
Said this twice already.
Yeah, I meant to tell you that.
Do you want to tell people about your run?
Well, my original plan was I went over and Lucinda was revising and she was like, oh, don't come around at like 6. So I come around at like 5 and I was like, right, I'll rebel. And I was like, right, I'll come around at 5 and I'll go a run, like out from like Galgorm to Hoggle.
3 times.
And I thought to myself, like from there out, I had like a wee route planned and it was 7.5k. And I thought, right, let's just do it. Let's just blow off these cobwebs.
7K.
Let's do it. Started off, must admit, I had my earphones in. I'd mapped my run on. The wee girl came over and she was like, 1 mile complete. Split place, 9 minutes, such and such. And I was like,
Was she following
yeah.
you around?
Yeah.
Telling you how far you were?
Yeah, in my ear.
All right.
I felt like Jarvis off of Iron Man. And got to like just over the 1 mile mark. And I know like 5k is like 3.2 mile.
Right.
So I was like, right, realistically, if I make it, start it then after the mile, I must admit, started dying. I was like, if I can make it 1.6, I'll turn and go back on myself again. It's 3.2.
Yeah.
Went to 1.6 and I got just to like the end of this hill, and it was whenever you Snapchat it, and got to like the end of this hill and I seen this 30-mile-an-hour zone sign up the hill. And I do not know, I genuinely think like, the way you have like a wee, like, the way you see them movies and like an angel and a devil on one shoulder, this is definitely the devil, was like, you're going to sprint up that hill and touch the 30-mile-an-hour sign. So Ross took off like Usain Bolt up that thing, touched the 30-mile-an-hour zone sign, and I mean, like, there's no better way to describe it. I thought I went full Stevie Wonder. I couldn't barely even see. Like, this
God.
blood just went all in my head, and I was like, oh my word, oh my word, oh my word. Had to like lean over the gate and pause my run because I was like, I'm going to be sick.
Oh my god.
Literally stood at the side of the road like pure dying and heaving, and then you Snapchat it. I was like, right, I'll message them for a few minutes to like take my mind off it because I hate being sick, and then ran back again, got to like 3.11 mile, and genuinely my legs were like, you're not going any further. So
How do you do that? How do you take your phone on with phone?
I just
Because
hold
whenever
it.
you're out running, you seem to take a lot of pictures of yourself.
yeah, just hold it.
Like, how do you have time?
Do you even
like,
do
do you not
any
just
running, like?
leave
Yeah,
why
I just
not leave the phone at home and get your run done
no, like
rather than stopping in every fucking corner and taking a photo of yourself?
No.
Oh, you don't have one of them wee pouches, do you?
No, I have like the wee MyZone built to track my, like, get my MEPs and all, but like I just carry my phone in my hand. and like flick and listen to music and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like if you leave your phone at home, you can't listen to music unless you have like an Apple Watch or something, which you can do that with, which fair enough. But like whenever you use Snapchat, and I literally like, I'm always like, if I'm running, I'll like open up my phone to see like what mile I'm on or like what song I'm on. I'll change my song. But like if I'm running on a footpath and use Snapchat, I'm just like, right, I'll just send a wee. But like that one I sent yesterday I was stationary because I was dying. So.
God. What were you in the Sunday talking about then?
Oh yeah, when I walk.
Sorry,
Swagway. Went out walking. She was sort of saying, cause she's got her wee job and all sorted for this year as well, and she was thinking Thomas is going to do the MK Fitness, and I was like, yes, and she was like, it's such a good idea, and I was like, right, explain yourself, and she was like, because it's one of them things where if he didn't do it, he'd always look back and be like, what could have been? And I was like, that is deep vibes.
That's what everyone says, like, but give it a go, see what happens. Like.
What's your thoughts?
What do you mean?
What's your thoughts now? Because obviously, like, the route like we've taken, me and Shay, is kind of like, right, it's structured. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're going into like a workplace and like getting our like contracts, and like, you know, like we'll have people telling us essentially what to do. So from your aspect as someone who is young, because there could be someone listening to this who's like, I want to try my own thing, and you could be the person to inspire them to do so.
Right.
You know what I mean? What is your thoughts going into it? Like, what are you like? Obviously you're a bit nervous, would you say?
I don't know. Well, Jesus, my voice cracked. Getting
Well.
emotional. No, I don't know. Like, I've done it for like, it's been going near a year now, and I'm sort of just like, I feel like because of uni and stuff, it wasn't proper focus, like giving it 100%, like in every day. So I think I want to give it a year of like proper investing all my time in it, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
I think that's the thing about it too. It's not like you're starting a new business. You know it does work.
Yeah.
But it's, you really just want to give it everything now.
Yeah. And then it's, I think, because of like obviously COVID had an effect on like the gyms being closed, so I want to sort of see like, is there still
A demand
there, like, but like at the same time I don't think there's not it's the type of thing that there's not a lot of manufacturers type of thing. But so yeah, I'm just gonna give it a go. I think like we sort of said in the last podcast that like, 'cause the way I see it is like, we're still so young, and I'd rather do it now when I don't have like any proper responsibilities hanging over my head.
I think that's the thing now, where like you're going into doing your architecture and I'm going into doing like sort of full-time, like, because I've never really had marketing experience, so I'll be going into doing like a full-time marketing role, but like there is that sense of, not that sense of pressure still, where it's like you don't have a house, you don't have a mortgage, you don't have any overhead, so it's kind of like, right, if it, like, because you could turn around and go into like a full-time architecture role and be like, I hate this, and I could turn around and do the same, and at least you have the sort of backup where you could take a back seat and do something else.
Yeah, well, I have talked to lecturers and all about it, and they've basically just said like you've nothing really to lose, like give it a year, like you'll always be able to get a job type of thing.
Yeah.
Sure, you got that job, like, no, I'm not taking anything away from it, like, but like you haven't finished uni yet.
Yeah.
So like I don't think, like, I think people have this whole thing of like you have to get the top grades or you're not going to get a decent job, but like,
plus that'll go down as experience for you, like.
Yeah,
experience beats anything.
that's what they've basically said to me.
No matter what you have on a piece of paper, whether you have a high first, a 2-1 or a 2-2, I don't think I would never, and it's just common, like, I know there will be people who, like, there are professions where you need to have, like, you need to show you're academically sort of gifted.
Like, it should be that way,
you need to show that you're smart, like. But in areas like, you look at what we done marketing, and so many, like, there's essays where it's like, compare and contrast. Like, I look at like the likes of the exams that like Lucinda's doing in engineering, and it's all like, right, here's the equation or whatever, like I don't fully understand it, but like there's a right or there's a wrong answer. Like there's no in between. Whereas like for the likes of us, it was all like compare and contrast. So like unless you produce like an absolutely slap ass piece of material, you're not getting 100. You're not even getting 90. You would lucky to get 80. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way it is. And I feel like a lot of people pure beat themselves up over that, where I don't think it's like, there's no need.
No.
Experience trumps everything.
Yeah.
You feel. But now it's like a case of like, now we're reaching the penultimate finish. Like, we'll see.
It's just mad that like you're used to just being told where you have to be and what you have to do. You know? I think that's one thing that would probably worry me is like if you's obviously being employed, then like you still sort of have that of like, oh, I have to be here 9 to 5 Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm sort of like, it's really up to me.
Yeah. See, doing what you do, I think would scare me because I know like, and you've done this before, like you've went into the workshop in like a weekend to try and get like orders done, whereas like I think I would put myself under a lot of unnecessary pressure without a structure, where I would be like staying on to God knows what time just to get stuff done. But then there's always that consistent order flow coming in.
Yeah.
So that's just it. But good luck.
Thanks.
GG's.
Pressure's on.
In other news, obviously everything. Where's the cinemas are open next week?
Is it next week?
I think so. I'll Google it and see. But also pubs are open again.
Is this definitely next week? Huh?
When do
Have any of you started to notice anything that you just completely forgot was a normal thing?
Someone said
I feel
this.
like something actually came out.
Someone
Something
said
happened to me on the way off the road today.
Someone said this the other day.
I just talk about
Bowling.
I was never really
I
want
don't
to go
even want to
bowling.
get into this.
But I
What
seen
is it?
right. I was driving here the day. I was driving off the motorway, and do you know what I seen? A bus that wasn't an Ulster bus. It wasn't a Translink bus. Of kids going somewhere on a bus together, and they're like standing up in the bus, like throwing shit at each other. And I was like, holy fuck, I haven't seen that in
Yeah, what's going
like years. I was like,
down?
something you completely forgot about that happened, but it's just weird. So it's just like expecting them to like give me the fingers as they're driving past and all that, you know.
I still,
Yeah.
I still don't think I've realised that like the actual shops have opened where like you get clothes and stuff. Like.
Yeah, I haven't been.
Yeah.
Because
Here.
I
we-
haven't been, so then like people are like, oh yeah, I was in town and I was in the shops, and you're like, what?
Lucinda ordered something else at H&M the other day and was like, I might just go return it in store. And I was like,
Peasant.
woman, what are you on about?
But I don't even, it doesn't even appeal to me now to go into town.
Yeah,
and
May
shop.
24th.
Like it's just the
I need-
handiness of
need
online.
clothes though.
But someone was saying the other day, I seen this video, and they were like, things you did before COVID that, like, when you look at now and you're like, wow, bowling. Right, so you think about it, bowling now, you're essentially coming after someone else, putting your fingers in a hole that someone else's fingers have been in, bowling a ball, and then going back and, like, eating crisps and stuff with your fingers.
Wash your hands though.
I know, but you're hardly going to wash your hands after every time you throw the ball.
Never put my fingers in a bowling ball again.
You know what I mean?
It's not really something you do that often, though. Like.
I know. Like we went bowling. I remember we went bowling that time, and you're thinking to yourself like,
If you really do think in it, there's a lot of things like that. Say,
Yeah,
like
I
even
get-
the bowling shoes. You're putting on shoes after someone else wearing them.
But it's like
Ice skating.
door handles. Sure, how many people have touched that door handle you've touched?
yeah,
It's not just bowling
no
balls.
thanks. But the cinemas is like a foolproof way of going back, and like, 'cause the cinema, like,
But someone sat in that seat before you.
It's
touch the
probably
same
one of the
armchair.
It's probably
Touch the
one of the
same
things I
armchair.
miss the most is cinema.
Yeah.
like.
but then what have we got to look forward to from the cinema?
Some
Like
movies
what
in, is there?
movies coming
Probably
out
be
in
a while before they're back
2021?
into proper swing of things. Though.
I agree.
We're
Eternals.
getting
Marvel is pure pumping the stuff out now. Marvel, Spider-Man 3, Suicide Squad, Venom 2, Shang-Chi.
So all that stuff not towards the end of the year though.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you call it? Oh, A Quiet Place 2.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Finally.
I
It
know.
feels like it's been
I think
delayed
it-
fucking
I
7
think
times.
it will be one of the first ones to come out.
Fast and
Oh,
Furious
it's
9.
Oh,
No.
shit, I don't even know that.
No.
That's not
Let's not
even
talk about that.
acknowledge that that's a film. though.
You've just made me upset now.
You will go and watch it.
Oh, I haven't been to the cinema to see a Fast and Furious since Fast 7, I think.
Oh, right, okay, so
bad,
you've
like.
missed
This
one.
was the last one, or
Yeah.
that fucking.
If it was the only film in the cinema, I don't even think I could go and see it.
So,
That's awful.
Yeah, fair. Yeah,
I'll go sit in
Marvel
the
has a
car and
good
put a
cast.
DVD on it.
As well as that, obviously pubs are back open again. I realised we met with Big Jawbox Jerry the other day.
Hey, what a guy.
Some things are upcoming there on that department, but we'll not talk about that until everything's finalised.
Here's the Craic gin coming soon.
But yeah, we'd obviously met up with him.
Yeah.
Had a wee meeting. Had a wee discussion, and I was actually saying to you, because me and him were sitting in here before we left, and I goes, "Oh my god, this will be the first pint I've had since lockdown 1."
Yeah.
Really?
I've been out a few times now, and you forget how expensive going out is.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things you take for granted being in lockdown is like, even if you're having a drink, like the max you're going to be spending, like
especially whenever
like
you're
what,
getting your
20
paycheck.
quid?
You never had to
Yeah.
put that money aside before. You know, oh, I'm going out this weekend, need to keep a few pounds.
Yeah.
You're just spending it in shite
And
instead.
then we went out and I was getting around the drinks and like a pint of Haverty was a £5, 2 pints was a tenner. So then I'm sitting there like, right, so that's 2 drinks, that's 10 quid. Like.
That's mad, like. Did
So
you find
it
it much
goes
dearer?
quick.
What?
Was it much dearer?
I don't remember Haverty being £5. Like.
No,
But
I think it was a
it's
pint
always
before,
more
3.50.
expensive. Like Haverty's always more expensive than all drinks. But
See, I always anticipate like a pint now as being like in around sort of 450, 465.
yeah.
Would
I
be
always
like
think 350.
fiver,
That's
like.
my figure. I
Prices
drink
will go
pints
up.
a lot, like. But
Aye.
that's what I always
Those
think.
go up.
To 4
But like you sort of understand it as well, because they
I
have
know.
been closed for so long.
Yeah, because we went out. We obviously went out and met up with your man, and then a friend of mine was out there last night at Ramore, and he sent me the menu, and a Jawbox gin was $6.95 at Ramore. Not even with a
You
mixer or anything.
joking?
$6.95.
That's
I
mad.
thought you were gonna say it was
No,
a mixer. I was like,
I'm
that's alright.
assuming it meant no mixer because he just sent me and it said
Just the
Jawbox
gin.
gin, $6.95, and I was like, that's
About a
madness.
fucking half bottle full.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is it. Like we went that we obviously were at your house there not that long ago, like 2 weekends ago, and we went out and got what Corona and
Corona and
some
I think
like-
did we get a bottle of whiskey or anything?
yeah, but like realistically, the Corona was what was it, 20 bottles for £20?
Was it even £20? It
No.
probably was like 14.
Yeah, £14, and then bottle of whiskey £25. You know, between
Like what?
three.
Like what? Say like what was that? So like say like £35 would have been spent on it.
Yeah,
Mm.
and not all of it was even drunk.
It's mad. Like.
But have we been spoiled by COVID? Has COVID
I don't
spoiled
think-
us in that
I
department?
think it's what you're gonna realize now is like how easily we're saving money, and now it's just gonna be like
Mm.
because the likes of going to the cinema and stuff, like you weren't doing that at all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then like the pub and stuff. Like.
Whereas now you're going out and being like, right, I'm gonna just buy this because COVID's over now. Well, not COVID's not over, but like COVID's subsiding now, so I'm just gonna go out and do this. But then you realise the amount of money that it takes to do that.
You forget about the other things you spend on a night out as well.
taxis and all.
Yeah.
Taxis, food, you go for
Food.
after, before, whatever. Like. Other shit, like it's not just fucking bring 40 quid, it'll get you drinks. Like.
No,
Yeah.
you remember you used to when you were younger, you used to go
God,
out to
yeah.
discos and all. You brought like 20 quid.
Yeah.
And you could have got like a quarter bottle and all. Like.
But you used to be able to do that. I remember we were doing that in first year in uni. Like you
Oh,
could have
no,
brought
yeah.
20 quid out and you could have got well on.
Like
Like,
proper doubles and all.
But you
Doubles,
bring, like,
double vodka and Red Bull. Like,
what was it?
for
Ollies
like
used to
£3.
Yeah. Oh my god.
You know, what's it was actually thinking about there the other day was it's completely went out of my head now. I think it was money. Someone handed me cash the other day.
I'm still used to that because I've been in there.
You in the bookies, no?
No, but like someone handed me cash, as in like I was doing something and
For
someone
you?
yeah,
Alright.
I was taking photos for a girl and she gave me cash and I was like, all right, thanks. I was like,
You were
still-
like looking over your shoulder and all.
Still, it still wasn't
Is this
like
legal?
Like I wasn't annoyed or anything. Like it was money's money, but at the same time, you're just like I'm now walking around with like 40, 50 quid in my wallet, and I'm like that will literally probably stay in there for so
Yeah.
long because I'm so that used now to just walking up and tapping,
Yeah.
but like and even to like. Whenever I get paid, I always put like a certain amount away and like leave a certain amount in my card,
Yeah.
so like I can kind of budget. Whereas
Yeah.
now you're like, do you know what I mean? Like
I'd
that.
be the same. If I had it, I'd try and spend it
Yeah.
to get rid of it because then you can't like equate
I
how this
hate
works in
having
with
it.
my. So I'd be like, the next thing I have to do has to involve being able to spend cash. So I get rid of this cash and then I'm back to basics of just
I
bank account
usually
numbers.
just get diesel with it. Or
Yeah, that's what I do.
We have a money box
That's
there, so
fair.
I just put it in it. But I hate having it. Now.
Yeah, or we get meals every Monday, so it's like 20 quid. So if 20 quid, I'll just use it for that.
Yeah.
Or diesel, one or the other. Like.
Cash will soon be gone. Well, methinks.
No, well, to be fair, there's a couple of coffee shops down and around the port, and they were like cash only. Sorry,
A lot
and
of
you're
cuties still
"What?"
cash only.
But that
though.
does my head in as well. because it's like the way things are now. How can you actually? It couldn't be that hard to set up. Like seriously,
You can get it on
you
your
can get
fucking
those
phone.
wee fucking
Yeah.
keypad
Aye,
things.
the wee like what are they called? The wee zitter things or something.
I don't know, but
Swift.
it's so easy.
You
You're up and down like a yo-yo here.
It is still recording. But
Yeah.
yeah, cash has just turned into like this thing where now I'm sitting with that money in my wallet and I'm like, what? And you, to be fair, I never even thought about paying for fuel with it.
No, it's just it's the handiness of using your phone as well.
But then, like, if I'm normally whenever I'm topping up my tank, I think I've like 40 quid in my wallet, and now when I'm topping up my tank, it's like 47.23, and you're like,
Oh, you're one of them people who fills it.
oh, I fill it right up, baby.
Do you
I have
fill
to,
it,
I'd
or
have
do
to
you
do
put-
like an even number.
I have to do even
It'll be
number as
like
well.
It's usually like 30 or 40 quid. Like.
Do you normally do this? I don't care, like if I have, like if it's the start of the month, like if I've just been paid, I'll just put whatever in it. I normally will try and even it off. But do you ever do this thing now where like before you go in, you'll check your actual bank account to see how much you have in your bank account? So say like if you open up your account and there's like £127.37p, I'll go and put £27.37p to bring it down to 100.
No,
I'll do that. I do
That's
that.
diesel.
Yeah,
that's so
off
weird.
petrol.
It stresses me out now because the way like there's shops that you have to prepay, so I'm always afraid of like paying for more and then like filling my car up.
What do you mean prepay?
So like you have
For
to go in
diesel?
and pay in the shop before you
What's
put
the
it
pain
in.
in the arse? Did you know if you go to
What?
Apple Green?
Like you go in, if say you want to get diesel, you park up, you have to go into the shop, it's prepay only, and you go in and be like, oh, give me 30 diesel.
So
and
you don't
then
drive
go-
away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, all
you
I've
not heard of
no,
that?
never have I. No,
If you-
never have I been in a
If you
place.
go to Apple Green down the road there, down the M1, Lisburn, if you pull in to get your diesel, it's not prepaid. But if you
Yeah.
pull in to get diesel, you open the door of your car, don't close it, and go to put diesel in. They won't turn on the pump for you until you close the door of your car.
Seriously?
Yeah, I went in one day. I pulled up, left the car door open, was sitting trying to fill it, wouldn't turn the machine on. Walked into the place, and I was like, that wouldn't turn on for my car. And she's like, oh, did you have your door closed? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And she was like, oh, we can't turn it on until you close your door.
What? So
I
is
was
there
like,
someone
what?
sitting
Why?
there watching?
Yeah, they won't turn it on until they see you have your door closed.
What? That's so weird.
But that thing about going in and putting £30, that would stress me out.
But that's what I mean. It's like,
Because if you put $29.95 in, you're like, you owe me you owe me 5p.
I know.
Mm.
So I always like, no. But I usually just put in like an even number.
Yeah,
I'll be
fair.
the same.
Have you ever been in one of them situations where you're like £40 and then you like it just goes to £40 1p and you're like, damn it. But yeah, like I always the thing that kind of sort of I found I always got my fuel like never really anywhere else bar there was one petrol station in Cullybacky, and with that they weren't I know what you're talking about. You go and you prepay, but like in most petrol stations now they obviously have to authorize the pump to get turned on. Whereas the one in Cullybacky was like you just walked up and you started pumping the fuel. Like you could have literally walked up,
Yeah.
lifted it, and started like having a water fight with someone. And
Wow.
yeah, and like I remember that and just going up. Whereas now, like I go to one in a Hockle, like sometimes on the way home, and like you're sitting and like they could be like serving someone at the same time. There could only be like one person in the counter, so you like put the nozzle in the hole. And you go like to push it, and you could be standing there for like a good 30 seconds, and nothing's coming out, and you're like, "What?" That first time that ever happened, that confused me so
I've
much. I
never
was
heard
like,
of that, like. I just like go, like. Just pull in, do it. That's it done. Like.
"No,
Simple.
but you have to go in, walk up, give them
I know, but that's
£30,
just
walk
some-
back out
that's
again.
some
That's just
basic.
effort."
Go fucks for me though, because it doesn't take the money out for 3 days.
Oh yeah.
So you're sitting and it says -£1, and
It's
you
like
think, oh,
available
I've got like
balance.
fucking 60 quid in my account or something. Next thing, fucking 30 quid comes out like 3 days later.
Go.
And you're like,
The
go
o-
fuck yourself.
The other bad thing about prepay is like you always end up buying stuff in the shop then.
Yeah.
So like I'll always, I almost go to places. I got to go into the shop because I always get like an energy drink or something. Whereas like
Same.
go, you're just like nah, just saving the money. Like.
That's what I'm like if I go to Apple Green. I'd be like, oh, I'll put a bit of diesel in to get me home, and then I'll go to my regular pumps. And then you walk in Apple Green, it's like, fuck. I'm a hard worker here. I'm driving all these long hours. I
Yeah.
need a wee Red Bull here, like,
It's
because I am trucking here.
Apple
like.
Green's an expensive hole.
It is
It's
dear.
an
Dear.
expensive
It's about
hole.
£5 for a Red Bull. like.
Yeah,
Then it's Greg's and all there. Like.
yeah.
Too tempting. Get a wee Burger King.
No, it's the sweets I notice in Apple Green. Like the wee normal bags of buttons are like £2 or
It's so
£1.85,
dear.
and you're like, I could go to this bar down the road and get it for £1.
Yeah.
But do you ever notice that? Like, I started saying this, like, deliver big news.
Well,
You're pregnant.
deliveries coming to Ballymena.
Delivery's coming to Ballymena.
Is it actually? On the
Yeah.
delivery though.
What a time to be alive.
Bike thefts in Ballymena go up 59%.
They'll definitely not deliver to you though.
No, they're not delivered to me,
Yeah.
but they deliver into Lucinda's. But we got a delivery the other night, and it was a McDonald's. It was actually the day we came home from yours,
Right.
dying on the sofa, and Lucinda was like, "We order this," and it was like £3 for delivery.
Yeah.
She was just like, "Do you want to just go in and get it? Because it's like £3 delivery." And I was just like,
Oh my god.
and I was about to go like, frig that, and then I was like, no, hold on a minute, it probably cost me like £4 to go in anyway by the time you drive around Ballymena just to get to McDonald's.
Costs you
fact-
£3 an effort.
The fact that you think £3.
No,
for
like she just
delivery,
came out with it, and I was just like, it's such a
I would've
Ballymena
just
thing, man.
laughed in her face. Like. Imagine having
Good
to
one.
get up. The weirdest thing happened to me yesterday. I ordered a Maggie's Maze. Like. They pulled up with it, and all, and your woman came to the door and delivered it to me. And I opened the door, and she just was holding the food, and she goes, "What's your name?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, Thomas McKeown." She's like, "Oh, right." And I sort of laughed. She's like, "Oh, I just have to check. You know, some people would just take it." And I was just like, "Oh, this has never happened to me before." And she's like, "Have a
That's
nice
fair
day."
enough. Like, you
I know, but it's just a bit weird. She's like asking me my name, and I was like,
It's like when you go into the chemist.
I have a girlfriend. Fuck off.
"Excuse me, I'm taken."
It's like when you go into like you go into like the pharmacy to pick up a prescription,
Mm.
and they're like, "What's the name?" And like you're picking it up for like, I remember I used to always go in on the way home from school for like mum and dad, and mum was just like, "Go in and say it's for Rebecca Evans," and I was like, "I can't do that," and she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Because I'm not a woman." She's "They're gonna know," and they were like, "No, you're not. Like you just have to go in and confirm your details," and you're like, "Oh."
Stresses me out. Like if I'm like depositing money from a dollar, like check or anything, and you go into the bank and they're like, "Oh, so you're a
Yeah.
Paul, are you?" And I'm just like, there's one day it's just like, "Yeah," and they're asking me all these questions, and then it's just like, "Put your pin in there, Paul," and I was like, it just felt so weird. It's just like, but I didn't want to say no, and then they're like, "Oh, well, you can't deposit this then."
Yeah, it's one of them moments where you're like just standing there and you're like, if they figure me out, like,
I'm
SWAT team's
going
gonna
to
come
jail.
through the roof and all
If you're
fucking
stressed out
put
going
you
up
in the
to the
ground.
door. Is this fraud?
Imagine they phone your dad. There's a guy in here pretending to
But
be
then I
you.
said, "Yeah," and I was just waiting for him to turn around and be like, "So, like, you're 40?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." "What's your date of birth?"
How's the kids?
Like when the bouncer asks you like your date of birth and all at the door. You know? What's your middle name? Where are you from? What's your ethnicity?
What's your mum's uncle's dad's dog's name?
Going back to the drink thing as well, what's the most expensive drink you've ordered in a pub?
Fucking time we went to Dublin. Holy fucking Temple Bar, was it? No, it was the one next to it.
Tampa bars.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
I can't even remember.
€10 for a Guinness?
Was it?
Yeah, I remember we fucking got one round. We were like, fuck it, we'll get one round. And there's only 4 of us.
40,
Came
oh,
to
I think I
40
remember.
fucking
I
quid.
think I remember us in the pub, like, and it was jammed, and he got the bill, and it was like €38, and we were like, "Oh fuck me,
It was 10. The Guinnesses were €10.
mental."
Like, fucking
there was
hell,
a
you
sta-
buy a crate of Guinness for €10.
That's crazy. I remember a stage where
Disgusting.
me and him went up on our own, and
And it's not as if
because it was too dear.
It's not as if they had big transporting costs. Like, it's made fucking like
I
Oh,
still
100 meters
down
down the road. Like,
Temple
of course
Bar,
it costs there. Like,
mental. You can barely lift your arm to drink it. It's that busy.
Fucking
It was
right.
Like St. Patrick's Day.
throwing it around, you pay a tenner for it, and you only get to drink half of it. The other half's on the ground.
Outrageous. Brona's ones were actually telling me about this. Like, her mom was talking about being in London, and like they were staying in this really fancy hotel or whatever, and they went down and got a meal and all. And her auntie drinks Jack Daniels, ordered a Jack Daniels. It was £16 for a Jack Daniels, just Jack Daniels on its own. Like. And then they got one round and drank it and all, and then they left, and they were just like, I could literally buy a bottle of that. Like.
Yeah.
I think no.
do you know what she can do?
Brona's mom went up to the bar. She said, and she goes, she gave her like 20 quid or something. Ordered a Jack Daniels, give him 20 quid or 30 quid or something, and he gave her back like £2, and she just goes, "Oh, I give you 20," and he was like, "Yeah, well, it's 16 whatever for that," and he was
That's
like,
fucking
she was like,
disgusting.
"I could go and buy a bottle of Jack Daniels for that," and he goes, "Yeah, well, you're in this hotel," sort of said the name of the
Oh
hotel.
my gosh.
Grand Central's dear enough too.
It's
like
not even. It's
it's
not
not
as
You're
dear
in
as you think
Premier
it
It's
would
dear
be.
enough, but like, what is it? A tenner for a half and
Is it?
like a half and a whiskey and Coke or something? Like, that's
Maybe, no.
for that. It's dear enough. Like, it is obviously on the dear side, but I suppose it could be dear. Do you know we're so fucking dear? The
Mm.
bunker in Armagh. Holy fuck!
outrageous prices.
As going at that age, like say what 18, 19, 20
Mm.
quid for like 2 halfings and a fucking mixer.
I know,
It was
but I
fucking
remember the
disgusting.
year. I feel like it was the first year everyone started getting the bottles of wine.
Yeah, everyone
So
copped
like
on to it.
the
like,
wine
just buy
was
a full
like
bottle of wine.
say £9 or £10 for a bottle of wine, so everyone was just like fucking getting bottles of wine. Like
Everyone
the
just
amount of
walking about.
everyone walking around with a bottle of wine there on, and then I think it was like the year after the bottle of wine was like 18 quid, and you're just like,
Trumps, like.
he's copped on.
You've copped on to our
Sneaky,
joke.
sneaky.
No, that, like £16 for a Jack Daniels, I would up and leave. Like. No thanks.
Ridiculous.
No
Not
thanks.
It's not like you can give it back as well on the
You can't
port,
even
like.
fucking enjoy it either. Then you're just sitting there the whole time, sitting there
Staring
like
at the receipt.
You could,
It's £4 a
you could
sip.
actually get a bottle like,
for
for
a
six.
sip. If you're gone in 5 sips,
Gotta make it last.
4 sips.
That's mad, like.
It's probably watered down too.
It's mad.
But
I seen anything like on TikTok, like a scam thing where you buy like rubs gin
Seen
around the
it.
edge of the glass.
That's that old fucking
That
the
hustle
hustle.
show.
Remember that was on? And your girl Jess in it.
Yeah, he puts gin around like the edge of the glass so it smells like gin, like.
Mm.
And he like puts a wee dribble of gin in it, and then he puts the rest of its water, and then puts the mixer in, so like it smells of gin, and you sort of think it is.
Do you think
gin.
you'd know? Fuck, I think I'd know.
It depends how drunk you
It
are. like.
also depends how drunk you
If
are.
you're
yeah,
rode off,
absolutely.
like you're no
No.
more.
But if
than
you're
you are.
starting your night, like you would like realistically, we were having the gins with Jawbox Jerry, and like after 2 or 3, I think you'd begin to be like, right,
Yeah.
something's sus here. I'm not even
Yeah.
feeling a wee bit dizzy.
Not
or, like,
even
buzzed.
feeling buzzed.
Do you know what I mean? But do you ever notice how sort of it depends where you're at and what you're doing, but like that time we went out the other day, I had like a Guinness, and I just kind of was like, you just kind of hits you. I think beer
Yeah.
has that effect on you where it just kind of like gives you a wee sort of buzz for like 15 minutes. And you're like,
Yeah.
wow,
I'm a big boy now.
that's why you want to go out. But what is your pub go-to drink?
Don't know. I got a pint of Haverley there the
That's
last
nice.
time I was out, and then I like Coors, like. But I can't drink beer for too long. I think I had like two or 3 pints of Haverley the
Yeah,
whole
the
night, and I
mucks.
was just like, nah. Like,
Too
I
heavy.
just went on to Jack Daniels then.
Too heavy. Like.
Maybe one for Smiddix, but you know what we've really got on today is Corona. But it's like
Corona's
on that
nice,
house
though.
party, like. But you could drink
Yeah.
that all night.
You could, like.
It's weird. Like I've never liked it before.
What's one drink that you love from one bit but you hate from the other? Like, you know the way Rockshore, you get it from a tap, a bottle, or a can.
JD.
I
I
think
fucking hate JD at home now. I can't drink JD in a house anymore. I can only drink it when I'm out. Just
Right.
went completely off it at the house.
All right.
it's weird.
I can only drink it out of a pub.
I think Rockshore from a tap tastes better than
Oh.
Rockshore.
Rockshore from a can stinking.
Right? Yeah, 100%.
But I think any beer from a can's rotten.
Yeah.
Like you never have a can of beer and think, oh, that's lovely.
Never seen Corona from a tap.
No.
No.
Is that a thing?
No. Wonder is it a
You
thing?
wouldn't really
I
go
don't
like
think
getting
so.
a pint of Corona. Like, it'd be a bit odd. I think the whole experience of it is drinking it out of a bottle.
Mm.
Corona on top.
Oh. Yeah. No, you do. You get Corona from it.
Definitely wouldn't be getting that.
No, I think that
I
would
feel like
ruin
it would
the
be one of those, like,
experience.
fucking
Wonder
festival
how that
drinks,
would
you know, you
do.
go
Oh.
to
Yeah.
Cannon's Vital or something.
That's right. I
it'd
hate
be
that's what I hate
fucking
about
warm.
them festivals as well. You can only get like 2 different types of drink.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
And that's
And
it.
one of them's
Bogging.
absolutely
The
stinking.
Tannins
It's
and
like
Magners.
Dennis and
like.
Magners. And Magners, you have bad memories, like making you sick. So it's like,
Magners
either
are so
that
sweet, man.
or drink Tannins.
Just having to drink it all night as well. like.
Yeah.
It's proper rotten.
I always end up on like the wine because they usually do like a wine or something, don't they?
Maybe.
Mix it with 7-Up or something.
Just
It's
down
the only
it.
way.
Well,
Excited
maybe-
to get back to concerts.
Oh
Johnny Weir.
yes, we have so many concerts booked, don't we?
I think because
many
we
spilled
booked
pints.
ones from last year. Like, we were meant to go to.
2 years that's passed over now.
Yeah, they've both been. I wonder, like, have they both been pushed?
Yeah, Luke
They're still-
Capaldi
both
and
still
Lewis
happening,
Capaldi
though.
and Dermot Kennedy have both been pushed in summer next year.
It's mental.
But then we're going to the Killers.
That will be
To see
a
Sam Fender and the
mad
Killers.
summer. Can't wait to see Sam Fender.
2022 roll on.
So excited.
What are you excited for?
I don't even know what I have. I have like 3 or 4. I think, I don't know.
Ryan
Ryan
McMullen like
McMullen.
3 times.
Ryan McMullen. I've got about 3 concerts lined up for him.
What about Dublin?
No, I think I've only 1 or 2. What?
We're all going down to Dublin to
Oh,
see
yeah.
the Killers and Sam Fender.
Not really a fan of the Killers, to be honest. Just going for the Craic.
Yeah, I
think
must
it-
admit,
I
I
appreciate that you said that though, because I feel like everyone's like, "Oh, I love the Killers," and you're like,
I
"Oh,
think
what song do you
Killers-
like?" And they're like,
yeah.
"Oh, Mr. Brightside." And you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, but you
Like,
don't.
yeah,
know.
I know they're genuine. Like, I'm not gonna fucking sit here and pretend I'm a massive Killers fan, like, because I'm not. Like, yeah, they make good music, but
Yeah.
like, I'm not.
to be honest with you,
Just think it'll be a good day's Craic.
I would
Yeah.
say if Sam Fender wasn't opening, I would probably be like, because you got me on to Sam Fender, and at the start I was a bit like, and then I actually started listening to him, and I think he would be good live. So I think I'm going more for Sam Fender and the Craic
No,
more
he
than I am the
definitely
Killers.
will,
Like, to be fair,
When I seen he was supporting, I was like, I'm going. I don't really, because I was meant to go see him like a few years ago, and he can't, like last year, and then he cancelled because he had like a bad throat or something. And then I seen that the Killers. I like the Killers, but I like their old stuff. Like their new stuff's shit. Like their first two albums were unreal, but like their new stuff's shit. Like.
I think you just go from a standpoint where I think it would be quite good. Like once they come on, Sam Fender's just be on, you'll be buzzing, and then you'll be like, right, the Killers come on. It'll just be the type of thing. I
But
feel
they
like
will be good,
once
like.
Mr. Brightside comes on,
They'll be class. Like
everybody will pipe up.
Yeah, no, well, I've got.
That's my favorite band.
But yeah,
Apart from that, experiences will be had. But yeah, we'll maybe end that there.
I think so.
Thank you very much for listening.
Like, subscribe, comment,
All them things.
leave a review.
Apologies if the editing isn't up to scratch this week.
Wash your filthy mouth. I'm going to take that bit out. Right, thanks very much for listening.
Bye bye.